and editorial director at Hindustan Times Media, joins in now. Shobna, morning. Thanks for joining us. It's two back-to-back losses that the BJP has faced, first in Delhi and now in Bihar. How do you think the recalibration will now take place?
I think the Bihar election also got hyped to a much greater extent because of the very sort of intense campaign that the BJP led with the Prime Minister addressing over 30 meetings, with all the senior ministers spending a lot of time in Bihar. And in contrast, the campaign at on the other side between Nitish and Lalu was primarily led by both of them. Having said that, obviously it does impact their strategy for the numbers in Rajya Sabha, because Bihar over the next 3 years would have sent 11 or 12 members of parliament to Rajya Sabha. With the current numbers, BJP can only hope to gain 2. So therefore, BJP actually getting the halfway mark in Rajya Sabha looks that much more distant. So it will impact them in terms of just getting the absolute numbers to focus on the promises they came on to actually push for reforms and growth. But that's a little more long term as well. In the short term, I really think that the impact of the Bihar loss does, in a sense, I hope would in a sense sort of compel BJP to look within once again and try and renew their poll promises, because a lot of the extraneous voices, the fringe elements, the utterances by many other people seem to somewhere have been derailing the basic value proposition that they came on. I mean, people are looking towards them to actually deliver on their promises, on the growth, on being pro-reformist. And I think, a lot of the utterances that we've heard or the actions in the last couple of months have actually detracted from that. So I don't know which way it will go post the election. I only hope that, they try and do some course correction and get back on track, because here's a party with a lot of hopes and a lot of promise, and people are looking for good governance and delivery of reforms.
Hi, Shobna. Good morning. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Hi.
Will this mean any populist measures? Because as we were discussing, it's not just the defeat, it is the intensity of the defeat. Will the BJP receive this as more a social verdict on the perceived intolerance? Or will they also perceive it as, probably they have to do something in terms of, populist measures?
It could be a little bit of both actually, but I personally don't think it's that much of a defeat on their policies. I think there are several reasons for it. One is the BJP did not have a credible face. To me, that is a huge, big reason why they haven't done well. At the end of the day, you had Nitish there. The election campaign was pretty much managed from Delhi by the party president, sending various people from all across the country, Prime Minister making so many stops in different places, over 30 meetings, quite unprecedented. So I think the lack of a popular face there was one thing that did them a lot of damage. I think also then the utterances of the RSS chief on reservations was again another factor that actually created a lot of confusion at the ground level. I don't think it's any sort of a referendum on the BJP's economic policy so far. So I don't know, and I don't see why they would fall back on some populist measures. But the converse may be true, that they may be slightly hesitant to take very harsh measures, if at all they have any such plans in terms of the economic policies, which don't seem to have a kind of a softer face. But I don't really see this as a referendum at all. I think these are purely state issues. I think it was a campaign supremely better managed by Nitish and Lalu. He showed a lot of gravitas. He did not get drawn in. He wasn't exchanging barb for barb. He kept his campaign at a very dignified level and didn't fall prey to a lot of these extraneous issues. So I really don't see this as being a huge referendum on all the policies of the BJP that we've seen so far. So hopefully I don't think they would derail, because their only strength is, the promise of fulfilling those promises, of getting us into a better economic and monetary situation. I don't think, and I don't see the BJP, in fact, trying to derail that and go in for populist measures. If at all, I think they would work with greater vigor in terms of trying to turn around the economy, signs of which have started already. They are visible, they are picking up. But I think they would focus on their core strength and on the value proposition that they got elected on.
Okay, there is actually a bigger problem now. I mean, after this Nitish Lalu's success that they've seen in Bihar, they are planning to form a strong national alternative as an effective opposition to the BJP. And, that could result in many months of muddled politics and perhaps some, roadblocks to the reform agenda as well. Wouldn't you worry about that? And what do you think the BJP should now do as step 1, 2, 3 in order to restore confidence?
Well, I think the first thing is to try and arrive at some kind of a national consensus on matters of great importance. So therefore, I think the BJP, being the ruling party, being the party with numbers, also needs to make a greater effort to reach out to the opposition, to try and draw them in and bring them in. There have to be some trade-offs. You give in to some and you win some. There have to be certain trade-offs, but I would hope that they try and bring about a greater political consensus to at least try and get through a few key reforms. And besides that, there are several low-hanging fruits. So perhaps looking at those would try and create the right and a more conducive atmosphere for BJP in terms of being able to deliver on certain things. So I think the endeavor should be to try and take along the opposition. I don't know what their strategy would be, whether they would, I'm sure they would try and divide the opposition and see that at least some parties come on board. But I think in terms of legislation, it may be slightly difficult for sort of a grand alliance, because even if you pick up something like the GST, for instance, whereas the main opposition party does have some reservations, you see a lot of the smaller state-level parties actually wanting it, because they feel it will be beneficial to them. So I think it will be difficult at the parliament level in terms of legislation to get everyone together. But yes, undoubtedly it gives a greater momentum to this whole anti-BJP alliance. And depending on how now the results go coming year, we have a couple of important elections. I think if this momentum picks up, it will become a strong bloc in the sense of being a bloc that would be a counter to the BJP. But then I don't think that legislation necessarily would be stuck because of that. Because as I told you, I don't see them all being aligned on all the issues. But it is really quite incumbent on the BJP to try and work out a political consensus. We have seen that happen in the past. There have been minority governments. They have taken through important legislation by trying to bring on board various political hues. So I think the BJP, being the largest party, the responsibility does lie squarely on their shoulder.
That's true, Shobhna, that minority governments have survived in the past. But, even as the BJP now probably sees a need for greater consensual politics, bipartisan voting, of course, is a strong word at the moment in India. But even as they want to reach out, you may find some newfound enthusiasm in the opposition parties, and therefore greater stridency and refusal to cooperate, wanting to capitalize on the gains that they have made. So do you think that we're going to see some big casualties on the legislative front? I mean, will at least the bankruptcy code go? That is not populist, or that should not have, a left and a right to it. But will even such laws be, put in the back burner?
Nitish Kumar actually faced no anti-incumbency. And time and again, when our reporters were out in the fields in Bihar covering the elections, everyone came back with the same thing, that Nitish Kumar doesn't seem to be facing any anti-incumbency. So I think all the political formations sort of understand the importance of being seen as being progressive, as seen as being pro-development. I don't think that there's going to be a one-size-fits-all approach in terms of the opposition coming en bloc, trying to prevent the ruling party from carrying out legislation. I think it will really depend upon legislation to legislation. I think I see a greater stridency coming about in the voices of the opposition on a lot of the social issues, on communal harmony issues, on trying to make the government, pin the government down, trying to make them more accountable. But in terms of actual reforms, in terms of supporting some of the bills, I think the parties are also well aware that today people are winning elections and votes also on the voice of development. Okay. Nitish was seen as a person who also promised what Prime Minister Modi wanted to do for Bihar. The agricultural output, everything has done extremely well in the last 5-10 years. So development, progress does matter. So I don't think at least the major national parties, for instance, like the Congress party, would want to be seen as being a dinosaur, would want to be seen as being anti-everything and anything that actually means speeding up the reforms. Okay. Having said that, I'm sure they will pick and choose their battles. Knowing that they've got the BJP on a bit of a back foot for the moment, they will try to politically capitalize on that. But I doubt whether it's going to be all at the cost of reforms or stalling everything, okay, because I'm sure that's not the sort of image that they would also want for themselves.
Well, one hopes so. Shobna Bhartia, it's a pleasure speaking with you. Yes. Thank you very much and have a great Diwali yourself.
Thank you to you, to all of you as well. Thank you.
Okay, we have to take a break, but we are back with a very special guest. The chief of NSE, Chitra Ramakrishnan, will be joining us on the rebranding of the NSE's indices that starts today. All indices will start with Nifty. More on that and other issues with Chitra in a minute.